Hi, I'm Mardu from StrataGames, and today we're playing some Mardu Synthesizer. This is a list by Azim Lyons, who got top 16 at Pauper Genesis with this exact list. Mardu Synth is a deck that I, in general, really enjoy. I don't play it quite as much as I probably should on the channel, but this list has some very interesting like one-ofs and things like that that shows that maybe Azim has been playing this deck list for a while and really tuning it. So, of course, it's Mardu Synth, so we're building our whole deck around this experimental synthesizer, which we're going to be picking up with Glinthawk and Core Skyfisher. We're also playing the Cleansing Wildfire package. So we're playing all of the bridges that produce red mana, as well as a Goldmire bridge, in order to tutor up our basics. We have 2 of each here, mountains, swamps, and plains, as well as a couple Shattered Landscapes to help fix our mana, and also a couple Vaults of Whispers, or rather 1 Vault of Whispers, 2 Ancient Dens, and a Great Furnace. So some more artifact lands there, which helps us cast our Refurbished Familiar, which is another great card for us to pick up with our Glinthawk and our Skyfisher. But it doesn't end there. We're also playing Lembas, which we can pick up. We have a 1 of Navigator's Compass in the main deck. We also have 1 more on the sideboard. This is a really nice one against any sort of burn or aggro deck. You can gain a lot of life from it, but it also helps fix your mana because it can just turn any land into any basic land type. We're also playing a 1 of Mukotai Ambusher. I'm not the biggest fan of this in like Dimir Fairies, where a lot of people play it, but I think this is the type of list where you want it. It's really good at picking up your Skyfishers and Glinthawks for just additional value. It is an artifact itself, so you can even go back and forth, picking it up with the Glinthawk and then picking up the Glinthawk with it. And the little bit of life can be pretty relevant. We're running just a 1 of Tithing Blade. This card is pretty good in certain situations where you're able to pick it up and recast it over and over and over again, but there are also so many spawn and other tokens running around that it's not always the best. We're playing a 1 of Makeshift Munitions, of course, as late game, and also some ways to control the board. 4 Galvanic and 4 Lightning Bolts, so we can also have a bit of a burn win. And speaking of, Black Mage's Rod is also a really good way to help make that happen. 3 of these, which we can also pick up with our Skyfisher Glinthawks if we want, or just let it sit around on the field and ping our opponent to death slowly. That's the main deck. For our sideboard, we have a Dust to Dust, an Eroshin Cleric, another Ambusher, more Tithing Blades, a Cast Down, 2 Cast into the Fire, 3 Red Blasts, Electrickery, 2 Nihil Spellbombs, and that second Compass. So let's take it for a league and see how we do.
Thanks to Card Market for sponsoring this video. I've written a comprehensive guide on how to play White Weenie in Pauper, including my ideal stock list, over 30 sideboard matchups, and a sideboard cheat sheet, which gives you a very easy snapshot view and what to sideboard for every single matchup. I also have guides for Black Sack and Esper Affinity. Each guide is only $15, and if you buy one, you will get all future updates that I ever make to that guide for free. I also offer coaching, so if you're interested in upping your Pauper game for any of the decks that I'm very proficient in, or if you're interested in having me play your deck in a future video, you can do a deck donation, which is the only way you'll ever see me playing Cycle Storm or Flickertron.
Cozy Glinthawk Gaming. Exactly. That's the goal here. Less impressive without the transition. I'm sorry, you'll just have to watch the YouTube video where I edit that in later. Or I guess I could make that like a scene in OBS where I play that after I do this, but I don't think there's any reason to subject my live viewers to additional ads. That doesn't seem very fun. Well, with just a single red source, this would be an incredible opening hand. We are on the draw. I got 2 lands. I could keep it, but I don't think that's probably what we want to be doing. But of course, now we're going to mulligan to 5. All right, this one's keepable. But now I got to get rid of all these removal spells. I think we get rid of the munitions and a bolt. In alternate universe, we have Evil Marsh, who only plays Flickertron and Cycle Storm, while doing donations are the only way to get him to play mid-range. That sounds like a crazy universe. Not one I would enjoy, but I guess Evil Marsh has gotten his name for a reason. Looks like we're against Spy. That's an interesting draw. I really want to go Cleansing Wildfire here, but the Compass does allow me to blast the Battlement, which is pretty important for them. Don't forget Elves. Yep, a lot of Elves in Evil Marsh's repertoire. Isn't that just Cali, guys? I do think the deck list that we both enjoy is just a Venn diagram of 2 circles. Not touching, that is. How important is it that I kill this Battlement? Probably pretty important. But if I ramp, it's so much better. I think I should kill it for a couple of reasons. 1, it's just too good. And 2, I could Wildfire their swamp and keep them off black, assuming this is Spy, which, there we go, confirmation. And that could be beneficial. I don't really want to do that until they've pulled out all their lands. I don't want to give them a free way to pull out a land, but they're going to Wall of Roots and then Quarian Ranger here. Okay. No funny brews in Genesis top 16, so no funny stream. I don't understand. We just got finished with Gruul Tokens, which is funny brew. I don't know. And then Mardu Synth is not that popular either. All right, so I could blow up a land, but then I'm just like letting them go off earlier. Gruul tokens is a real thing. I mean, how funny of a brew, like, it's a real deck, but I wouldn't consider it a tier 2 or really even tier 3 deck. Like, it's, you know, it's a very fringe deck, I would say. I think we want to ramp ourselves. I could hold both of these. I think we want to ramp. It's tier 3, I think. Well, I mean that, like, in terms of power level, based on what I just played, it seems good. It seems like it could probably even be a, maybe it could be a tier 2 deck even. But I'm saying as far as, like, popularity, like, I've seen a couple of people play it, like, 6 months ago. And then other than that, except for Pauper Genesis, where it was just played, I haven't seen it almost at all. It's a real established deck that some people have been playing. I mean, yeah, if you're saying a deck that no one has ever played before, making like top 16, that's not going to be super common for sure. I would agree. Caretaker plus a battlement. I definitely got to kill this battlement because it makes too much mana. I can also play this Beast Rider Vanguard. Oh, they have another battlement. Well, that's scary. Rate my haul. Traded some rares and mythics I don't use for relics of 4 relics of Prentice. Sounds like a great haul. Even if there are rares or mythics that you do use sometimes. It doesn't seem like you need them. In exchange for relics, that seems really good. All right. I don't know what to do here. Because I could kill a battlement, but now that they have 2, what does it matter? This is still going to tap for 8 with the Ranger. If I wait to kill the Vanguard, then they could have, like, they could activate it 2 or 3 times. I could kill the Ranger, but that's still, now they're tapping for 10 mana. Mardu Synth was Gavin Verhey's Funny Brew a few years ago at Geddon. Yeah, I mean, every deck starts as a Funny Brew until it does well, but the majority of Funny Brews don't start good enough that the moment that they're on people's radar, they're like top 16ing a giant tournament, you know? I think I will take out one of these, and I guess hope I have another way to take out one. They still haven't pulled out their last land, so I don't really want a Wildfire. So I guess we go for a Lembas first. Black Mage's Rod is not really where I need to be, I don't think. Goldmire Bridge. Yeah, I guess we're just going to ramp ourselves here. Mesmeric Fiend takes a refurb. Still remember the era where people called the Wildfire plus bridge package a fun card advantage engine. Yeah, I mean, exactly. Like, when it was new, it was interesting and unique, something people hadn't seen before. And I still think it's interesting and unique, but it's not new. And it's definitely something people have had for a while that, like, yeah, is not as exciting anymore. Play a Wall of Roots, activate the Vanguard. I need, like, a Cart Clan Shaman, but we don't have that. There's the Wildling for the last basic. Although blowing up a land here doesn't even matter. They have so much mana, including colored mana. Skyfisher for a Lembas. I guess we'll keep. Get rid of the Rod. Play a Bridge. And pass. You guys are right. What I really think I meant was that Genesis top 16 had no new tech. That makes me a bit sad. I mean, not every tournament is going to have like a brand new sideboard card you've never seen before or anything like that. I think there were interesting enough deck lists in the top 16. I would also be like sad or whatever if it was all, that's really annoying, if every single deck list, you know, if we had a top 16 that was like the same 4 decks, you know, Mono Red Madness and Dimir Terror and Elves and all this like same stuff, but we had 12 different decks in the top 16, including some tier 2 or tier 3 decks like Gruul Tokens and Mardu Synth. Like, I think it was a very good top 16. We are dead. It's probably a fine matchup, but our mulligan did not help us. Cast down, Tithing Blades are fine. Bring in some spell bombs. I don't know about Electrickery. Compass. Munitions is like probably not super necessary. Ambusher we don't need. I guess the Black Mage's Rods don't feel amazing. Like, if we got them early, maybe they could be good enough. If we got them early and then like can blast all of their creatures, but we're kind of playing control here. Yeah. Hand looks reasonable enough. Play a Bridge and pass. Land Grant gets a forest. They're going to cycle a Generosent here. And then play a Wall of Roots, I guess. No, they're going to Masked Vandal us. That's what they're going to do. Which means I could Landscape. I think I want a Bridge so that when they Vandal, it's not that big of a deal. I can still play a 2-drop next turn. Getting that Tron list with 4 Elder, 4 Brambleworm, that was spicy. Yeah, like, I understand, Zemikir, what you're saying. I think the thing is that, like, especially with, like, Komodo Drake mentioning, like, the Geddon lists, the Italy scene is so much more, like, mature, like, so much older that, and so much bigger, that you're going to have more people doing more interesting things, taking it more seriously, trying to tech for all of it. The scene in the US is a lot younger, and so a lot of people are just like bringing a deck that they've been playing for a little while without like making as many changes. So I'm sure we'll start to see that like really interesting different tech and stuff like that as the meta in the US starts to evolve. But yeah, it's not necessarily where we're at right now, which I think is fine. All right, I think we just Tithing Blade this away, and then I leave up the landscape, so if they want to Vandal either of these, I get the color that I lose, and they're going for a Mesmeric Fiend, which with double Galvanic is totally fine, because I can just pick this off. They probably take, like, Synth or Lembas so that I have a harder time, like, taking it immediately, but taking Galvanic doesn't make any sense, because it doesn't stop me from doing anything, or pinch my mana in any way, but whatever. Okay, another Synth. I think I probably want to Lembas and just leave up Galvanic Blast. Surprised they have not Vandaled us. But this gives us 2 looks to find another land. Perfect. And we'll just pass with Blast up here. Cycle of Generosent. They got a Winding Way. Hits another Vandal. Caretaker. Wildling. There's the Vandal. Gonna take our white source, obviously. Might as well pick this off. If we don't draw a white source, well, we did, but they're gonna just take it away. So let's go for a Synth, see if we get like another one. Yeah, Lembas is decent. Wildfire is good. That can either be a white source if I really need it, or I can shut off their black for a little while. I guess I've tapped out, so can they just spy me here? They would need a way to make an extra mana, so I don't think so. But they can do all that and then Vandal, take away the bridge. So I could Wildfire their swamp, but they still have black mana here, so that doesn't matter. Okay, Spellbomb's a good draw after they just double Vandaled us. So I could blow this up. They could still start casting Wildlings. Yeah, so I think I want to get my white source. A land would be a nice draw, but we got to play Spellbomb to not die. We might be able to stabilize here. Lead the Stampede's pretty good from them, though. I mean, we knew they had it, but just a Spy and an Ent, that's not too bad. Another Lead the Stampede is pretty brutal. Finds a Wall of Roots and a Fiend. Okay, also not too bad. They are at 7 cards, though. Plains. I think I want to kill both of these so they can't start landing Generous Ents yet. Let's start with a Skyfisher. Picking up Synth. I guess I hope for a land here. Another Skyfisher, which I can play. What if I only kill this? Then they still have 5 mana. They can't play an Ent, but they can play a Wildling. That's not that bad, because I can block a Wildling. Okay, let's Bolt the Caretaker, because it makes black mana, which means if I can find another Wildfire and pick off the Swamp, maybe they can't do any black mana. Do I want a Tithing Blade or a Lembas here? I already have card draw, and any random creature could be relevant if I do Tithing Blade. But they're going to play, like, Fiend. Yeah, I think I'm going to get the Lembas. It was this Mardu Synth, this list, different to what Gavin played in Luca. I'm sure it's a little different. Yeah, because it's from Genesis. Sorry, that list is probably not quite accurate. They have a Fiend here. Let me pull up the right list. And they have a Wall of Roots and another Vandal. Well, that's not good. Going for the Spellbomb. Oh, we got to crack it. All right, here's the actual deck list that we are currently playing. Well, we gotta find another Spellbomb, I guess. Bridge is not it. Go for a Lembas. Glint Hawk picks this up. Yeah, we gotta get rid of that. Synth, Refurb. I mean, we had to use all our resources to try to find a Spellbomb, and if we don't find it, then we just die, because they cast Spy, and we lose. Doesn't feel like we're really geared to beat them that much. It's not great. Alright, we gotta mulligan. This one is good enough. I think I'm gonna get rid of the Rod over one of the Refurbs, but I don't know. I hesitate turning my Orzhov Ninjas list into this. Do you think it makes the deck better? I fear it brings too much trouble with adding a 3rd color. Yeah, there's definitely a real cost to adding a 3rd color in Pauper. You definitely slow yourself down, but you get some really good cards, obviously. I don't necessarily know which one's better. I will say I think in general Orzhov has been a bit worse the last year or so. But then again, Mardu Synth is not necessarily making enormous waves either. I think it's mostly play style, which you prefer, and also maybe metagame. Can you afford to go a little bit slower with Mardu? And the mana is definitely a real thing. Here we're seeing that we didn't have black mana. But you also get access to Cleansing Wildfire, which is a really good, powerful draw engine. A good engine of ramp, color fixing, and also advantage. You gotta get the best of all 3 worlds, because I think Boros Synth, one of the issues with it is that you don't really have the greatest way to end the game. If you're not going for a burn win, it feels like your creatures attacking with a bunch of Thraben Inspectors kind of sucks. Whereas with this, you have Refurbs, you have ninjas and stuff like that, which helps a lot. They discard another snacker here. I think I want to pick up the Lembas, because next turn I want to Ambusher and Refurb anyway. So yeah. I was typing case in point before you drew that Wildfire right on time. Yeah, Wildfire helps a lot for sure. So I don't know if it's something you're interested in. I say give it a try. You can always turn the deck into that. Put the Orzhov cards that you pull out aside, ready to go right back in. If you try this for a couple of events and don't care for it. But if you're happy with how Orzhov Ninjas is performing, you also don't have to try it. All right, we're going to take out the Flame Breather. We're going to swing, get down the Ambusher. I guess I'll pick up the Refurb. Part of me wants to pick up the Skyfisher, but then what am I picking up with the Skyfisher? Probably a Refurb, or maybe a Lembas. But I think here we Refurb, Lembas, and Glinthawk. This deck feels like a red deck that splashes white and black, so you probably only bring over 12 of the creatures and the rest is different. Yeah, I mean, there's a good amount of like strategy overlap, but the actual cards, there's a lot of differences. I think I pick up the Lembas. Maybe I'll give it a spin. Orzhov plays around all of them blasts in the sideboards, though. That is a very good upside to Orzhov, for sure. And the Festivities, not the worst. It only takes out the Refurb, although they probably flashback the Lava Dart to kill the Ambusher, I would guess. Maybe the Glinthawk. They're going aggro. I don't think I can afford to take all of that. I think I'm going to block here. If they don't kill the Ambusher, that's really good for us, but I assume they will. Yeah. I do get to refurb both the cards in their hand, which is kind of nice. And if I'm lucky from Lembas, I find a removal spell for Gutter Snipe. Compass is pretty good too. Well, it's okay. It's life gain, but seeing as I'm about to put them down to 0 cards, life gain's pretty good because then they're just top decking. I think it's probably better to try to find something else. Okay, Skyfisher's good. Make him discard. Another Gutter Snipe, make them discard. Probably a Fire Blast. Maybe they sack in response. A Fiery Temper. Okay, so that's pretty good. I swing for 2, and I can Skyfisher back the Lembas to try to dig for something else. We're probably going to need to sack this Lembas at some point as well. I mean, we could die if they get really lucky. Fiery, Faithless Looting into Fiery Temper or whatever, but just an Epicure is totally fine. Okay, Vault's not great. Hopefully Lembas finds us something good here. Munitions is very good, actually. I can attack with a team. I put them to 7. Not quite lethal, but then I have 4 mana. I just pick off their whole board. That seems pretty good. Or they take it, they go to 5. I'm still not quite lethal. That's okay. Pick off the Gutter Snipe now, and then just pass. I can only take 1 from an epic. Like, if they attack with everything, I'll just throw 2 more things at these guys, and they have to deal me 7 damage, which I guess they could if they have Fiery Temper into Fire Blast. So we'll go to 1. What's your favorite 3 colors to play in all of Magic? My number 1 favorite color is black. I like that black just kind of lets you do a little bit of everything as long as you're willing to pay a cost for it. Life, creatures, discard cards, whatever. So black's my favorite color. My favorite 2-color combination is Golgari. I think that the green adds so much to black. I'm a big graveyard guy, so I'm a big fan of that. But then interestingly, my favorite 3-color combination is Mardu, actually, because I think that it gets the interesting combat and attack, like go wide, but also like combat tricks and stuff of white, black, and red all together. I'm a huge fan of all of that. So like that's my favorite 3-color combination. I think that's also probably my favorite 3 colors. I guess if we're taking the colors individually, maybe I prefer blue over red. So probably like Esper would be my favorite 3 individual colors. Esper is pretty cool, to be honest. All right, we don't need Black Mage's Rods, Tithing Blade, and as much as Makeshift was great there, I don't think it's actually what we need. We get to bring in some more life gain and some graveyard hate. I could bring in Cast Down, but like we already have a million removal spells for their guys, so we don't really need that. This is more for Terror or Chrysalis or something. Or Monstertron. Sand looks decent. We kind of need to find some removal and hope we don't get cast into the fire, but I guess Compasses will help. I love Jund personally. I'm also a huge Jund fan. I mean, I like Jund Wildfire, obviously. My biggest Magic career regret is not playing Modern when Jund was the deck to play in 2013, because that would have been my jam. I could refurb here, but they have mana open, so I'm giving them the ability to Fiery Temper. I'm giving them the ability to discard a Snacker. I think the chances they tap out next turn are pretty decent. Plus, if they do tap out, I can maybe refurb and then Skyfisher pick it back up if I want to, which could dodge and then the Festivities or even a Lava Dart if they're tapped out. And I just don't know what I get by playing the refurb. I get to maybe attack for 2 earlier, but that doesn't do that much. See, if they grab the prize Fiery Temper, they're going to tap out here. I get to refurb them, and I actually get the value that I want, as opposed to just giving them a cheap card. I mean, maybe they still discard a Snacker, but obviously that's always a possibility, whereas at least I'm playing around the other stuff. So there's a refurb. And they discard a Lava Dart, so that's fine. If they want to Lava Dart this before I can pick it up with a Skyfisher, they have to sack a Mountain. And if not, I mean, I don't even know if I want to pick this up. It reduces the amount of damage I can deal to them. Then they're going to be aware of the fact that maybe they need to leave up a Lava Dart. Plus, it might be better to just pick up a Campfire. Or not a Campfire, a Compass. Yeah, I think I'm just going to pick up the Compass, actually. Modern 2015 Jund with Tarmogoyf. Yeah, exactly. Tarmogoyf, Bloodbraid Elf, Liliana the Veil. Like, that would have been probably my favorite deck. Smash the Smithereens on the Ancient Den. Okay, that's annoying. Not on the Refurb is interesting. Okay, I was like, unless that's coming. Indeed. Okay, so Synth turns up a Wildfire. That's not bad. And of course I can play it because Compass turns this into a mountain on our bridge. Pull out a swamp here. Draw a card. Attack for 2. Compass just does so much work in Hawk decks. Exactly. It's like, this is one of those really cool innovations that someone found that I'm like, that just makes so much sense. Especially in the 3-color ones, it just helps. Like, it's even fine in Boros or Orzhov, but like 3-color, it just does so much work. All right, we're going to start with a Synth because I could turn up a Bolt here that I want to use on the Gutter Snipe. And if I don't, well, Skyfisher could also turn up a Bolt when I pick up this Synth. Let's see what we got. We got a bridge. So I'm going to turn this red, go for a Gutter Snipe, mountain. Excuse me, go for a Bolt on the Gutter Snipe. I should attack first because theoretically, if I kill the Gutter Snipe, they might want to Bolt the Skyfisher. So I should get in for the damage first. Now I should Bolt this. I mean, I could get Bolted, Fire Blasted, Lava Darted in response. There's 1 Lava Dart. Okay. So I could play this bridge, which obviously is the most value, but they have 2 Lava Darts in the grave. If they play a Gutter, like, my alternative is playing a Mountain and a Compass to gain that 3 life. Do I need this bridge is the big question, because I could just play a Compass, in which case I'm less likely to die. They could have Gutter Snipe, Fire Blast, Lava Dart, but if they already had most of that, they would have gone for it. I think I should be safe enough, but hey, if they top deck correctly and have the right hand, we could definitely die here, and that's something I maybe could have prevented. There's another Gutter Snipe. Play a Mountain. It's a decent sign. Skyfisher. Start with a Synth. Bridge. Let's Skyfisher. We really want to kill this Gutter Snipe. I guess I could have just picked up the second Compass. Maybe that would have been better. Spellbomb will at least force their Lava Darts, which means they have less mana for their turn. So I should do that now, I think. And here, I'm almost assuredly going to not use the bridge, and I'm going to play the Compass instead. I know we can't be dead here unless they're slow rolling us because they would have already killed us. So pay a black. We get the Bolt. So I could play a Compass, but is gaining 3 life actually better than just bolting this? 3 life is 3 life now or later, whereas if I bolt this now, I take less damage over the next couple turns. Well, the next 1 turn. So I think I bolt this. If they didn't have anything in response, chances are they don't have any damage in hand. Instant speed damage. Means I might be able to survive. I think actually based on the mana, let me just crack a Synth here. Ambusher. I can't ninjutsu that out of that. I could cast it, but I actually would rather cast this Compass, so we're not going to do that. So I'm just going to play another Synth, see if we get something else relevant. That's pretty funny, I gotta admit. Only 2 Ambushers in the entire deck, by the way. Synth is just a great card. All right. Well, we're at 9 life. They could have drawn a Bolt or a Fire Blast here. There's the Fiery Temper. Okay, so we're at 6. But again, their other cards shouldn't be damage. Actually, I guess this could have been their spell because they couldn't have cast it with the Gutter Snipe. So they could have like a Bolt and a Fire Blast here, but they don't. And we get the match. Very nice. All right, this one looks pretty good on the play. Perfect mana. Something play on turn 2, and then turn 3, and then turn 4. More red. Get a Bolt. I don't think we need another land yet. Rod is okay. Obviously, we saw we're going to be cutting those, but okay, it's Rally. It's good to know. That changes what I'm going to do for sure. I'm going to play 2 creatures. Or a creature and a Bolt. I think we only have 1 white mana. I kind of want to do Black Mage's Rod plus Bolt here, because then if they have like a Bolt, they kill the token as opposed to like the 3 toughness Skyfisher. It's a little bit relevant in my mind. But I only have 1 white mana, and I want to use that. So I think I'm actually going to Glint Hawk the Lembus, but then I have to Black Mage's Rod. Now I'm going to Skyfisher the Lembus, because Skyfisher blocks really well. If they have a Bolt, so be it. If not, it's pretty good, and I get to hold up the Bolt, so that even if they have a way to kill this, I still get to reduce their damage by at least 2. They do have the Bolt, and they have a Bushwhacker. Yeah, it's not great. So we're going to take 7 here. Give me another 1-drop. So I could Lembus. I mean, we're going to Lembus plus Glint Hawk, probably. Galvanic's nice. Okay, there we go. I can Glint Hawk, Lembus, but I also still have Galvanic Blast. So even if they kill this, I can take out the Tomb Raider. And if they don't kill this, then I get to block 1/1. Oh, they have an axe or something. Okay, see where that goes. Probably on the Epicure. Yeah. I have another one. So do I want to take out the Epicure or the Tomb Raider? I think it's got to be the Epicure. I think I just need to preserve life total. They do have another axe, but they were waiting on it. Okay, that's annoying. And that goes on the Tomb Raider. So I go to 5, but I have a Lembus. Give me another 1-drop. Perfect. That's all I want. Lembas, Tithing Blade. I could cast, but then I'm susceptible to double bolt. I think I want to get rid of that. Just cash in Lembas right away. I'm going to bolt the Tomb Raider, but I'm also going to leave back the Glint Hawk in case they have any other haste creatures. I certainly don't need to be getting in for 2 damage here. Blood Token away a Mountain. Galvanic Blast the Hawk. Equip the Tomb Raider. Go to combat. Now I get to bolt this. I only have 1 card, only 2 energy, so only 1 axe gets equipped. Now I'm feeling pretty good. Okay. I guess I'm going to hope they don't have any End of Festivities main deck, because I think I'm just playing both of these. So I can block, you know, if they get haste guys, but also so I can turn the tide and start attacking them. They play a Mountain. All right, Ancient Den. Let's cycle this. Give me something good. Lembas would be great. Compass is fine. Pings for 2 and gains 3. And they concede. All right. That was a nice game. So what do we get here? Cleric for sure. Electrickery, Cast in the Fire, Compass, and Ambusher. Take out Tithing Blade, Black Mage's Rods, Munitions, and probably some number of bolts. They're not bad, but like I don't need them all. I could probably take out 1. Yeah, this looks pretty good. This hand looks so good, but it's a little slow. Am I just going to get overrun by rally cards? Probably, because I can't even Skyfisher on 2 if I wanted. So I'm doing like Wildfire turn 2. Yeah, that's how we lose. It's not good enough. Unfortunately, this one's kind of close actually. I might risk it on this. Because of Compass, if I get any land, I can play like Glint Hawk, Skyfisher, like not Skyfisher, pick up the Compass. I think this is, I mean, we're going to lose if we don't get a land, but I think I'm going to keep this and just get rid of the Lembas. Also, if we get like Cast in the Fire, super dead, but it seems okay if those things don't happen. All right, we get a bridge, pass the turn. There's an Emissary into Rally. I mean, that other hand would be way too slow. Give me a land. Ugh, if we got an untapped land, and then I could play Compass, play Glint Hawk, pick it up, do it again, eventually play a Cleric. This is definitely going to be too slow. Unless I get... I mean, a land would still maybe do work. But if I don't get it, yeah, there's no way. Pick this up, and maybe they won't attack. Maybe they'll forget or something. Smash to smithereens. It doesn't even kill it. But they're just doing it to Fire Blast us. I think we're dead. All right. Let's see if we can get a better hand. Somewhat better than a 1-lander, I guess. All right, this one's good. We got multiple lands, and we have bolts to slow them down. They're playing Smash to Smithereens, which hopefully means they're not playing the Cast in the Fire at all. So hopefully this bridge survives. There's a Tomb Raider. I could bolt, but then I don't get to... The problem is I'm missing artifacts here. I think we're just gonna Lembas, because I can't refurb. I don't want to pick up a land with this. I don't think I need a Synth. Electricity is okay. We'll see how bad this turn is, though. Epicure and a Percussionist. Okay. I could just Electricity and Lightning Bolt. Chances are they're not going to do anything with these, though. I think I Skyfisher the Lembas. And then I hold up bolts for this. Percussionist. Burning Tree. Okay. Scary stuff. They have a Galvanic Blast. 1, 2, 3, 4 artifacts, so I can't kill in response to make it so they don't have Metalcraft. Discard their Mountain. Alright, I will bolt this. Take 3. I think I'm just going to pass, and we're going to Electricity and bolt. And hope this is good enough. I mean, they get a couple cards off the Percussionist. The problem is this looks like a breath weapon, so there's no way they play more things into it. But I guess I'll do this first. If they turn up like an axe or something, they'll probably cast it on the Emissary, and then I can bolt it, something like that. Bushwhacker Mountain. You ever been to Bushwhacker Mountain? Filled with goblins. Those are not the worst things to see, honestly. Bushwhacker's a lot less scary when we know it's coming. Start with a Synth. Galvanic Blast. Okay. Well, let's Lembas. Glint Hawk is good. I guess we'll refurb and then we'll Galvanic them. They'll be down to 1 card in hand. Oh, unless they're about to smash our refurb. I'm going to Galvanic that to save 3 life. I don't really care to deal them 4 damage, and I very much would like to save us 3 life. So look at that. 1 red instant healing salve. And then they Fire Blast us. Okay, so we get to draw a card. Okay, Landscape. They do get a Bushwhacker, but they only have 2 lands, so they probably can't do a ton with it other than kick it and attack for 2. That means we're at 5, and I have a Lembas coming. Well, a Lembas I can crack, that is. Here's a Glint Hawk. Okay, things are looking up. They concede. Okay, well, I was wanting to see how that turn would go. Turns up a Lembas, we play that, and then we probably crack it. Okay, that's pretty good. Well, we won the match. Did I just click concede? I was just trying to go to the next one. Here we go. Jowie Note seems to be broken. Doesn't have any the messages. Yeah, I was trying to fix, like, only half of the people who were chatting were showing up. And so I changed a setting real quick, and I had to refresh it, which is why. So it's not any more broken than it was before. I'm not necessarily sure yet if it has fixed the fact that half the people weren't showing up here. Just have to wait for other people to chat for that to happen. If I have a little bit of time after stream, I might just stay live so that I can edit or I can troubleshoot some of these things while live because it'll be easier. And I mean, people can hang out and talk and ask questions and stuff. I'll just be like troubleshooting stuff. If we can wrap this up in the next hour, I would say. The last 2 matches shouldn't be too hard. I will keep this. The Lembus makes it possible. Yeah, we have another comment here by Kyle Style, and it's not showing up here, unfortunately. So something's still wrong. I gotta work on that. Hey Marsh, quick question on MTGO. Sometimes a pop-up will come up saying opponent is waiting, priority received. Are they initiating that, or is that just MTGO? If it's a button, I could click. Which one is it? No, there's no button. It's just automatic. Especially if you are on MTGO and you've clicked out of the window, so it thinks you're like watching YouTube or whatever else. It'll just give you a pop-up to like remind you that you need to play the game. So there's no button. We get to Cleanse Wildfire. We have no bridges. We might be able to just blow up one of their lands. I could do it now, but there's no guarantee I hit the right one. Like, they could not have it. I think I'm going to Lembus, try to find our more mana. Well, I'm going to keep a Wildfire and then pass. Cheers, mate. Appreciate it. Thought people were just being impatient despite the timer. No, it's just automatic. I understand. They do have the natural Tron. Lucky them. Is it just the members that show up? I think mine have shown up. Yeah, it might be something like that. There was like a mode or like a button where I could like press where you can show off the badges that people have, which I thought would be cool. You should see them. And I thought maybe it was only showing people with the badges. So I turned that off, but doesn't seem to have changed it, except that they're not showing anymore. But yeah, as much as I want the members, to show up, I'd also like the other people to be able to show up there too. So I don't know. That was a great draw. Truly excellent. I needed a second color. It's the only thing I could have cast for a single mana in another color, and these are pretty useless to cast. So Marsh is a capitalist shill. Got it. Well, maybe... the auto mod just apparently doesn't like the word shill and caught that. And I approved that message for you. So if I really were a shill, would I have done that? Because I could have just let that never be shown. And the whole point is I want people who don't give me money to be able to see their chats. That's what I'm saying. All right, the problem is they got one of these Brambleworms out before I was able to, or rather before I decided to Cleansing Wildfire. So I could just die to it. Because even Lightning Bolt plus Refurb doesn't kill it. The Synth just tried to get me. Exactly. And I let you have your free speech. I could, of course, Cleansing Wildfire one of their lands. I could do it on my own bridge to get a white source. I could also play Munitions, block with Refurb, Bolt, and throw my Lembus at this worm. That's so many things. But it does kind of stabilize us, sets us up a little bit. I kind of think that's the best play. It's not my favorite, but if they don't get anything through, then like maybe I'll be okay. If they don't get Tron again immediately. We'll absorb 1 damage. Expedition map, crack it. I can Wildfire to take them off it again, so that's something before they can really use it super well, beyond whatever they're going to cast here, or crack a Candy Trail or whatever. Cryogen Relic, interesting. Okay, I don't think this is just Monster Tron. This is like Flicker Tron in some fashion or something. All right, pick off the worm. Black Mage's Rod. I guess I'll cast that. Then I'm going to Wildfire the tower. This is Pinkertron. Yeah, I couldn't remember the exact list. I couldn't remember it having Cryogen Relic, but... Oh, they discarded another island, which means that they don't have any lands to seek now. Seen this variant around? Nice. Well, there we go. Well, now our Cleansing Wildfire is just Stone Rain, so I think I'm going to blow up this mine next turn as well. Yeah, there's a Rod. Okay. But I can pick off the hero plus other like wizards with the munitions pretty well. Oh, or I could Tithing Blade. Tithing Blade's probably better saved, actually. Let's kick things off with a Synth. We're at 7, which in Pinkertron territory is not really where we want to be. But another Synth. Okay. I would love to hit a land. Ambusher. Please stop turning that up. I'm going to pick off this hero with the Synth. Galvanic Blast. I could Galvanic Blast for 5 damage. But I think it's probably better to Stone Rain them here. And if I'm lucky, I guess I draw a mountain. Although I kind of just want to draw not a mountain. But it would allow me to use the Galvanic Blast. It's the thing. All right, they're going to crack their Candy Trail. And that's fine. Probably going to crack Cryogen? Oh, no, they got something else here. Another Black Mage's Rod? Oh, they have a draw, too. Okay. Viscerator's Insight on the Cryogen. Draw 3. Get a mine back. Pass the turn. I mean, I want to pick up this Synth with the Skyfisher, but I have no I have no white mana, so I guess we're just cracking this. There's a Swamp. Okay. Play a Refurb. Attack for 2. And we're going to leave the Tithing Blade in case we can actually pick something off. Another relic. I might just crack that right away. Prism. Okay, fair enough. Don't find anything. We could get here. Oh my god. Glint Hawk. We're being a great Rakdos deck right now, but imagine if we had a little bit of extra power here. I should probably re-equip this to our flyer. Yeah, if they get like a Mysidian Elder, I'm not going to want it on that. But of course, they can also crack this relic to keep this tapped, so that's not great. Maybe I should have gone on the Samurai, because I could get past the Elder and be fine. If I don't draw something I can cast or a white source, it doesn't really matter, because I'm just going to be having the extra mana anyway. I have a Ghostly Flicker here to draw 3. Okay, they found the tower. I just needed like one more turn. I feel like they're going to be able to stop us now. Oh, especially if they have a breath weapon. No, it's Elder. Sure. That's fine. Limbus. I think we just need to pick off this wizard token. But yeah, if they didn't, I mean, I guess we could get another Wildfire maybe, but we only have one left in the deck. There's an Ancient Den. Okay, so I can Tithing Blade this away, ping them for 1, swing for 5. I could Skyfisher or Glint Hawk, pick up the Refurb, replay it, and re-equip. Hold up Munitions for 1. Takes 1 card out of their hand. I don't know if that matters. I also have Brambleworm in there still. Or I just pick up like Tithing Blade. Don't think there's any guarantee that's going to be very helpful though. I could flip the Tithing Blade if I want to tap out here, but that's too slow to be relevant, I think. So I think we're going to Glint Hawk the Refurb, play that so they can't like Cryogen it, and re-equip here. And see if we die. I do want to have at least 1 mana up, so if they play like a hero token or whatever, I can ping it before they can fully kill us. Yeah, another Brambleworm. I can pick up the Tithing Blade and replay it if they don't have... They have Ghostly Flicker mana up. That would gain them more life, but it wouldn't prevent the Brambleworm from dying. Oh, they're just going for it maybe. Oh, another Elder. Okay, that's annoying. I think I'm gonna pick this off with a Samurai. I don't love losing our creatures, but kind of think I need to. And then I think I need to throw 3 things at this Elder and then kill the Brambleworm with the Tithing Blade. So I can Tithing them, ping for 1, play the Plains, attack for 5. But they just have too many things they can do with their mana and too much mana that I'm not sure this is really gonna work. Probably just another worm. Outrageous. No way they have another Elder too. Dude, this is unreasonable. Okay, Lembus. I can't do the same thing I did last time because I don't have a way to pick up the Tithing Blade. I also don't have enough mana. Black Mage's Rod. That's not going to be good enough. We're just dying to this worm. That's obviously not good enough. All right, we're dead. We just didn't draw white for way too long, I think is most of it. All right, let's get some Artifact Hate. We don't need Mukotai or Compass. I think most of these bolts are not very good. I guess they take out the Elders, but I think I'd rather cast down, be able to kill a worm. Are Red Elemental Blasts ever worth it here for Flicker? I don't think so. I mean, it could hit Flicker or Cryogen Relic. I think those are the only cards we saw that are blue. I don't know if they have any others in the deck. I mean, I guess maybe it does more than a Galvanic Blast, to be honest. I don't know. It's a good question. I'm not exactly sure. I mean, ever worth it? Like, they might be. It's probably something worth trying. Obviously, I don't know exactly the best way to sideboard in this list that I don't play very much against this deck that I've never played against before. But it's totally possible that some blasts would be worth it. Or you can just make your opponent mulligan to 4 and game is easy, which is what they're doing right now. I mean, I'll probably lose, but it does help that they don't have a lot of cards now. A mine and a map. I'm gonna start with a Lembus, looking for more lands. I mean, Refurb is really good and really annoying for them, seeing as they already mulligan to 4, but I can't really deploy them very fast because I already have some black cards. I don't even have a black mana yet. I have to sack this landscape. They do have Tron. I mean, mulliganing to 4, but finding Tron, they literally could still win this. Give me an untapped land, please. That's not it. So I'm just gonna hope to hit a land here, and if not, we'll crack this landscape for a swamp. Plains is great. I still want to crack this for a swamp, so I'm going to just play Glint Hawk, pick up a Lembus. And then now, even if they're able to play like Brambleworms and stuff, which they need a Prophetic Prism or some way to make green before they can do that, but I have Tithing Blades, so that's not too big of a deal. I mean, their best thing to do here is probably just set up. Get a Prophetic Prism or 2 down, maybe a Cryogen. More maps isn't bad. Just the map. Okay, that's pretty good for us. Grab a swamp here. I think I'm going to Glint Hawk the Synth. Looking for a land. Not great to hit now. I maybe should have just Lembus and then Refurb to try to pressure them as opposed to doing it this way. Yeah, it would have been better, but Obviously, if I had hit a land, it might have been better this way. Not great. I've been seeing this card on YouTube recently. Solfatara and Turf Wound. Might not be your playstyle, but seems like an interesting tempo terror deck. Yeah, I think I saw Siege Ryan play. Those are the cards that like prevent your opponent from playing a land for a turn. Definitely, I think a bit of a meme, a bit of a gimmick deck, but interesting, you know. Interesting idea for sure. Not my play style for what I would play like long term, but like probably something that I would maybe try out once in a while just to see how it goes. All right, let's just Glint Hawk, Lembas, try to find that land. I mean, we're still in a pretty good spot seeing as they mulligan so low and don't have much going on. Our hand is stocked, but if I never hit lands, this could be problematic. There we go. I mean, we are still also presenting a clock, but they could have like a breath weapon or something at some point, which would be pretty bad. Prism, they're going to sack this map for a draw 2. Looks like they got a worm, but I can just kill that, no worries. So let's go with the Synth. There we go. Try to hit a land. Tithing Blade, hit them for 6. Hold up Galvanic, I guess. Nothing else to do with the mana. But if they don't play another creature, even if they do, I can just Galvanic Blast them, move them along towards death. Tithing Blade a worm if they get it. So deal them 4. Cast in the fire. Swing for 6. Is this a breath weapon? Another draw 2. Cast down. Okay. That's fine. Maybe I should have gotten makeshift down first, but chances are they would have just done it in response. Wouldn't have mattered anyway. I think we probably try to take their last 2 cards though with Refurb, Skyfisher, Refurb. Oh, still got something else though. Maybe another cast down. Cool. So now it'll be easy to take their last card, and they're gonna crack Columbus. What's better than one Glint Hawk? All the Glint Hawks. Indeed. I'm a big fan of this guy. All right, take their last card here. It's an island, Skyfisher. I'll just pick up a Lembas, and then I think we just play a Skyfisher, actually. 8 power in the air. Pick up a Synth. We haven't played a land, so if I hit a land, I actually get to play something. That's cool. And even if I didn't, I just have tons of value in hand. If they get like a Bramble Worm, it looks good for them, but then I can Tithing Blade it, attack, and play munitions. They're flashing back Eviscerator's Insight, cracking a Prism, barrels a Blasting Jelly, can kill 1 creature. They have a Cryogen Relic. Okay, well that can keep the Glint Hawk tapped. It doesn't matter. I mean, I can just kill them, but as far as they're concerned, they're trying to stay alive. Oh, gain 5 off the Bramble Worm. You know what? That does keep them alive, doesn't it? I'm just a little short. Okay, so obviously I can attack for 8 here. Question is, do I want to like play a Black Mage's Rod? I think that's committing more to the board in a way that I don't necessarily need to. So I think I'm just going to start with a Synth. Blast is pretty good. Blast is still just short of killing them. 1 mana short with the munitions. But yeah, I think I just play that. Leave up a couple mana. See what they want to do. Ghostly Flicker to draw 3. Oh, I didn't leave up red, which I guess is because I used 3 red. So I can't cast into the fire in response, but that's fine. I think they need like a breath weapon and a way to gain a bunch of life to be able to survive here. There's the worm, and cast down a Glint Hawk, which we'll throw at them. We'll throw our other Tithing Blade. I mean, they are dead on board, even if I don't have a Tithing Blade here, but we'll swing for 6, go to game 3. I mean, it was closer than I would have hoped, considering they mulliganed to 4, so it's still pretty scary. Could throw Synth during your end step, so you still get to play the card on your turn. Unfortunately, I don't think that's how that works. It's not like a trigger that says like at the end of the next end step you get to play this card. It's just until end of turn. So whenever this turn ends, you can play that. You can no longer play that card. So even if you throw it on the end step, I believe you can't get it back. I'm pretty sure of that. Or you can't cast that card. Otherwise, that would be interesting. I'm going to keep this hand. It's not amazing, but we have the potential, and we have a lot of mana. So you might be right. Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure that's how it works. If it said like, if it was like Clockwork Percussionist, or I don't know, a number of things that were like until the end of the end of your next turn. I'm trying to think how it would need to be worded, but a little differently, I believe. All right, Refurb's a good draw because I didn't actually want to play Synth until at least turn 3. Skyfisher until after that. So Refurb is something I can play in the interim. I would like them to stop getting Tron so easily. That would help things until your next end step would work. Yes, that would work. Yeah, I can't stop them from Troning or anything. So here's this. When this creature dies, exile the top card of your library and play it until the end of your next turn. Yeah, so yeah, that would definitely work. But the way that Pew Pew had said, like, if you did it in the end step, made me think of it being like a trigger that said, like, at the beginning of the next end step. That's what it would say. If it said, like, at the beginning, you know, until the beginning of the next end step, you could play this card. If you did it in their end step, then yes, you would be able to hold it till yours. But if you did it during their main phase, then it would go at the end of theirs. So yeah, a bit interesting there for sure. All right. Skyfisher on a Synth is a lot more value than on like a Refurb. But if I Synth now, I'm whiffing on any red spells that I get, including a Wildfire. but that's just going to happen until I get another red land. So I think it's still worth going for a Synth here, knowing I'll probably hit a red spell. Okay, that's good. It's not a red spell. I'm going to play this. Is Black Mage's Rod something I need? They didn't actually end up with Tron, which is nice. Not immediately. They have a map now, so they'll have it next turn. This deals some decent damage, but I just think with the life gain they have, it's not enough. If I draw one naturally, obviously I'll use it. But I think I'm trying to fight the resource game rather than the speed game. So I think I'd rather get rid of it and also try to find like a wildfire. Because I think like if they have 3 times as much mana as us, we're not really going to be able to beat them on the resource game. But if we're able to keep them at our same mana cost or mana value, then it'll be a lot easier. Lemming Liege, subscribe with Prime. Thanks for that, Peter. I appreciate you. Give me all your money. And by that, I mean your free Prime memberships. Forgot I have a Prime sub. Yeah, perfect. Everybody who's forgotten, now's the time to give it to me. You're running out of time. Expedition map. The way the cleanup step works is by doing 3 things with no priority, given to players in between. First, remove damage. Second, remove continuous effects of the turn, like Synth. Third, make the active player discard to hand size. That is, yeah, generally true. I will say, summarizing it, you know, there's always some niche things that can affect it. Like, if discarding to hand size can put a trigger on the stack, then everyone will gain priority again, and you'll actually go to an additional cleanup step after that. But yes, in general, that is true. I could dust to dust these. Obviously, they just get to crack map. It does get rid of Prism, which is pretty good, but then they get to actually turn map into like a conduit pylons, which they'll know to do. I could double refurb them, which is not bad. Plus, I get my army going a little bit. I think we will go for the double refurb. I discard a Mysidian Elder, Skyfisher, pick up the tapped one in case they want to cryogen and keep it tapped. Discard a Hydroblast. Okay. Yeah, I think Dust to Dust is going to serve us better by getting like 2 prisms or maybe a Candy Trail when they're tapped out. Cryogen Relic, something like that. Or if they just pass, you know, they do go for pylons anyway, so I'm not going to be cutting them off of colored mana entirely. They have the Elder. We don't have our Blast up, so they could go for a Flicker or whatever. But if they're passing to us, that's pretty good. Ooh, and we get a Wildfire. Swing for 6 first. Although we only have 1 red mana. So if I Wildfire them, I can't have a Blast. Plus, they could go for a Flicker in response. Ugh, that's so bad. I could try to bait out a Flicker with a Dust to Dust on like their Prism and our Synth. It's not a bad idea. Then if that works, I get to blow up their tower. In fact, the Dust to Dust has to target 2 artifacts, hurts me against Tron once because I wanted to exile their Prism, but there are no other artifacts on the battlefield. Yeah, it's a real cost. This card's very, very good, so I think it's okay to have that cost. I think I'm gonna... I probably shouldn't have played this land yet because I could turn up a land with this, but I think I'm gonna Dust to Dust. I don't know if I even care about this Prism, though. Is this good if it goes off? Not really. It's good if they try to respond to it, and then I get to blow up their land. I think we're gonna go for it anyway. All right, it worked instantly. And we get a Glint Hawk. Sure, I'll just cast that. Hold up Galvanic, pick up Lembas. That was not bad. So they didn't have Ghostly Flicker, or they just F6'd and... were mistaken. You know, shouldn't have. Card is still busted, just funny in that situation. No, for sure. Super relevant. Like, luckily in White Weenie, often you play clues, so if you need to, you can target your own clue, and if you have the mana, you can target your own clue and their thing, and then still crack the clue, which can be really good. Alright, they do get a Brambleworm, which is annoying, but with the Galvanic Blast, I can attack everything into it and trade one of them and a Galvanic for it. We're still pinched on red mana. They tapped out of Flicker potential, though. I expect they don't have a Flicker, but that means I'm going to just blow up their tower. This is another red. Don't really love keeping this, but it does let me go for the attack, Galvanic Blast, and still Cleansing Wildfire this turn, so I think we are going to keep it. I should have Wildfired first. I have 1 cast down that I brought in that I could have gotten off of this Wildfire, in which case I wouldn't have to throw away a creature here, but that's okay. Let's Wildfire their tower. I know they have an island to grab. That's fine. We got another one of those. All right, I'll kill the worm. And now they only have 5 mana, unless they have another tower in hand. Barrel Blasting Jelly. Another barrel. So many barrels. 1 card in hand. Attack for 1. I think we're doing all right. Now we're getting a little flooded, but here's a Synth. See what we get. It's a land, of course. I don't need that land, and I'd rather have more red mana. I'm not going to crack the Synth yet because then they could just... I could just turn up a red spell that I can't use. Exile the worm as a mostly fog. Casting the fire is something. Crack this Synth for another land, of course. Swing with our flyers. I assume they're going to crack one of these to blow up one of these guys, and then I'm going to cast the other one into the fire, I guess. They don't. They just take it. Interesting. What are they going to do then? They're not going to crack one of those? Now they're just dead on board. Well, I mean, not quite, because they can still crack one, but that doesn't seem right. They do get the tower, and there's a Brambleworm. Good news, you have red sources now. I got all the red sources I could possibly want now. That is very true. I could cast one of these into the fire. They only have 4 mana, so they can't currently use on. I could probably wait. I have probably enough mana. Oh my god. Never ask for anything again, apparently. If I attack with the team, they eat the Skyfisher, and they block the Elder on the Samurai. I can then cast out of the fire the Wizard and the Elder. They take 4, and I still have 3 of our guys. But they have both barrels. They can start killing these guys off. Or I could exile a barrel. I'm not worried about the barrels. I'm worried about them potentially getting a flickering this and then going crazy. If they have a flicker now, we're in some trouble. But I think we just go for the attack and then try to pick these 2 off. Yep, and they have the flicker, of course. I meant to play a land. I don't know if it matters. If we didn't draw like 6 lands in a row for our last draws, that would be nice. I think we would be in a... I thought we were going to win this game, but... when you just suddenly stop drawing spells, kind of hard. Brambleworm attacks. I'll take it. They have another Elder. Just give me a chain of like Synth into other stuff. No, I guess not. We're dead. No, I guess I can live with the Lembas. But like, they can blow up a barrel here, kill one of these, then blow up another. Attack with the team. I can block 8. Heart of the cards. Yeah, it's theoretically possible to win. It's getting pretty tough. I probably should have attacked with the Flyers because leaving them back doesn't change much because they can just sack the barrels. And my best way to win is like Synth, crack Synth into like double Galvanic or something. And I'll try to kill one of these guys, I guess. Force them to use this if they want to keep it alive, which I'm not sure they care about even. Looks like they do, I guess. They realize that I'm currently dying and I need to do something first. So yeah, I crack the Lembas, and then they can do their trick if they want to. No, I go to 3. I mean, they only have to cast 2 spells and I'll die. Oh, look, it's a land. At least it's one I can cycle. Black Mage's Rod is not going to cut it. That game was going really well, and then something changed. All right, last round here. We have a lot of burn. That's it. But we do have Glint Hawk, which if we get an artifact is pretty good. We have a lot of artifacts in the deck, and we have good mana, so I think we're going to keep it. But it's a bit of a tough one. We're against Naya Gates, it kind of looks like. Another Galvanic Blast. I mean, we have already 15 damage in hand, so that's something to watch out for. Of course, Gates decks have a lot of life gain, so not confident that'll be something we'll be able to execute really quickly, but we'll see. Swing with the Snacker. There's a cat. I only have 1 red mana, so I kind of want to use a spell here. I kind of want to burn them, but the problem is then cat just gets gated up and it's pretty tough. Okay, I think we'll wait even though we only have the 1 red. Although Synth makes that worse, but we're not going to not play this. If we get a land, a red source would be nice. Well, I'm going to go for the Glint Hawk right away. Now I can turn up a 2-drop and I can't play it, but what are you going to do? I could have just passed. Felt like we needed to make something happen because they could literally just gate up their cat and hit for like 6 or 7 if they got another gate. And that's pretty bad. But that was definitely a waste of some value there. Malevolent Rumble chooses a mountain. They have a Journey to Nowhere. Gets rid of the Hawk. Oh my god. We have 19 damage in hand. But it doesn't matter if we don't have more red mana and also other cards. We're going to just die with like a full player's worth of damage. All right, Lembas, give me something good. I'm going to keep the Landscape because it's a red source, even though I would prefer to draw some other stuff. But we do really need 2 red here, at least. It's a lot of burn. Yeah, unfortunately, they're just going to gate up the cat, and it's not going to be very good for a while. Another Moxite. Discard a Strands. I guess I'm casting an Ambusher here. Yeah, I'm going to cast this, and I guess I'll just hold up one of these. Although if they try to pump the Snacker, they could Strands to keep it alive, which means I'll take a hit for 6. Then I guess the Ambusher can get in. Yeah, I mean, I could kill the Snacker now. That doesn't feel great because then they just pump the cat. And then I either have to chump or just go down to like 1. Just kind of the same with the Snacker here. So I am going to bolt this. They're going to Strands. I'll go to 1. Then I can Ambusher attack. I mean, if they play another creature here, it's like not great. Yeah, there's a medic. So I can't kill all of these. Swing with the Ambusher. Hope to 4. Pass the turn. Against almost any other deck, a handful of Galvanic Blasts would have done wonders, but here it's not going to be enough. I can kill the medic here. That's something. Should have probably cracked this Lembas before damage was dealt, because if they play a Bolt, they could just kill me here. I don't think they usually play any, but sometimes. Pursue the Past. Of course, another Snacker. What are these draws? Amazing. Play another synth. Play munitions. I guess munitions can pick off one of these. Yeah, I guess I'll try. We can gain some more life. If they get if they get another strands or basilisk gate or anything, we're gonna lose. There's the second gate. So I ping off this, and they just pump the other one. Also, they have a strands. Oh, they're trying to pump with the gate at instant speed, which they should know doesn't work, but we're dead. Spell bomb, electrickery, cast in the fire. That ambusher doesn't matter. Compass doesn't matter. This amount of burn is not really where we need to be. I guess Black Mage's rods though are probably worse. Oh, but Tithing Blade's not great either. Let's bring the bolts back. And I guess one rod. Alright, let's see what we can do. This one is reasonable enough. Play Drossforge Bridge. They got a Cliff Gate. We have a Synth. They could be playing... I realize now that I should have played a little differently here. I'm not going to take a bridge. They could have Dust to Dust, so playing the Ancient Den didn't feel great, but I'm going to have to play 2 Artifact lands at some point unless I draw another one that's not. So I could have started with the Rustvale Bridge and then playing the Swamp would have been fine, but now if I want white mana, I have to do the Ancient Den. I don't know. Casting the Fire doesn't matter really. Could ramp us, or I could hold the wildfire to hurt them. I think let's start with Synth and see what we get. Spell bomb is good. I don't want to use it on a single Sacred Cat. Let's just play it with a bridge. If they go for like a snacker, I might do that, especially if I'm getting the cat too. There's the Pursue. Discard a mountain. Okay. I mean, Pursue and cat's still some value, but I'm still not really loving that. Let's go for a Glint Hawk on the Synth. Pick this up. We get a bolt. I mean, it's free damage on them. I think we will just leave everything up here. I might want to crack the Spell Bomb so we could draw a card from that. They do have the Dust to Dust. All right, I'm going to Galvanic Blast them. I kind of do want a Spell Bomb just to help us draw more lands and stuff. Obviously, we have the white source already in hand, which is good. But we also just don't have a lot else going for us. We need some more proactive plays, like Reverb's good. Landscape is decent. Synth. I could play... I think I want a Landscape and then Refurb. Oh, I only have one artifact. Sure, I guess I'll just cast it then. I could have played the Ancient Den, but it wouldn't matter if I had a mana up. That's fine. Kind of trying to just be aggro now. Like, they've had a slow start. Journey's annoying. Medic. Citadel Gate. Bolt is good. It's a little annoying because it means that I can't really play anything else because I kind of need to hold it up in case they have a Basilisk Gate for this. In fact, if they do, they could also have a Prismatic Strands. But I want them to play the Basilisk Gate so that I can Cleansing Wildfire it. So I think I'm going to let them potentially play it. Okay, if they don't, I still kind of want to kill it, but I think we wait. Well, now with the second one, that makes me want to just do it now. Sack this for red. Yeah. I guess we'll take it out. All right, let's go for a Synth. Galvanic Blast. I like the idea of throwing that at them, but I think it's got to go at their Medic because if they get a gate, they're going to gain a bunch of life. Yeah. Okay. I was going to say they might have a Strands there. They do get the Robot. I can cast that into the fire, not this turn. But next turn, it doesn't have lifelink, so I'm not as worried. Although, of course, they've drawn a bunch of cards off their Medics, which is really annoying. Like, they've gotten 3 clean 2-for-1s. Moxite, discard a mountain. Shattered Acolyte. It's annoying. Guess I'm somewhat happy they didn't just blow up our white source right away, but I guess they want this as a lifelinker, which makes sense. Well, we're not going to give them the opportunity to blow up the white source before I get a Hawk down. I think we're going to take the Synth, even though Lembas might be better, but we'll see what this turns up. Bridge is good. Refurb is good. Discard a Snacker. Attack for 2. They go for another Journey. Hit the Glint Hawk this time. So they have like Electrickery or something, or Cast in the Fire. Raven Charm for the other Glint Hawk. Okay. And then Shattered Acolyte for the Refurb. Okay. I mean, they're out of cards. They did finally start feeling the pressure. Electrickery is not doing too much. Let's Synth into a bridge. I really think I need to just hold this Cleansing Wildfire for the first Basilisk Gate we see. I have a Cast in the Fire for this, but I could crack a Synth and get a 2/2, which can start attacking. Yeah, I think that's better. Oh, and we get a Bolt. So that's actually pretty nice. I think I'm going to Bolt their Robot, because then I have Cast in the Fire for their next Robot, and Electrickery for their Snacker, so I don't have to worry as much about their creatures now. Rumble hits, mills a Pursue the Past, and it finds an Acolyte, and it mills a Snacker. Well, I guess I will have to care about their creatures, since they got, like, everything they wanted. I mean, Electrickery puts all the Snackers back in the yard, which is the nice thing. Plus the Spawn. Oh, and they're not playing the Acolyte, because they want to hold up Oxide, I guess. Interesting. Let's crack a Synth. Lembas. Skyfisher's good. So they're going to chump and then make a 2-2. So I might as well just not let them chump because I'm going to want to ping off this the snackers anyway. So let's just do this. This makes a tapped robot, so they can't even block. If it was untapped, it would trade anyway, so it's not a big deal. We know they have an Acolyte in hand, which is fine. If they get a Basilisk Gate here, another Journey, okay? I mean, it's not the worst thing ever. It's a little annoying. But if they attack for 2, that's not a good trade for them, so they're going to pass. Holding the Acolyte still is interesting. Let's go for a Glint Hawk. See what we turn up from a Lembas. We'll keep another Skyfisher. Now that we have all these Skyfishers, I actually don't care to I don't mind trading these, I think, because I'd rather Cast in the Fire takes out 2 sneaky snackers if those come back, and I think I just want to get my creatures on the field, so I'm going to do double Skyfisher here, picking up Lembas rather than like one Skyfisher and then cast a Lembas. There's Pursue the Past, getting back those snackers, discarding a 3rd. Oh, they discarded the Acolyte to the Pursue the Past that they had used before. I understand. They also have a full play set of Journey to Nowheres on the board, 3 snackers. What a game. Black Mage's Rod's actually a pretty good draw, though. Can hit for 4. I mean, if I get like a Galvanic, I think I can just win here. Yeah, because that's 5 damage. A Bolt would be good, too. Get rid of that. I can definitely swing, because if they get a Basilisk Gate, I can just cast another fire, the snacker that's targeted. So let's just leave that up. There's the gate. Dust to Dust? Okay. I wanted to cast this, obviously, and get the trigger for this, but I can't. I mean, I could cast it. They're out of cards. They have a Pursue in the yard, but that doesn't matter now. I could cast it, ping off 2 snackers, then they can't pump this for 8 and get in because they're going to die. Yeah, actually, I should do this still. Ping off 2 of these because there's no risk of me dying. I might as well get the ping. And then I guess if they block this, technically they're not dead on board. And they can flashback Pursue the Past and just not discard anything just for 2 life, but it's not necessarily a great idea. But they're going to do it. I mean, it might be necessary to keep them alive. It's just obviously not very good value. That's my 1 black source. Yes, because I just lost a thing. Okay, Lembas first. Burn is just a win. I don't think I need another Lembas. Skyfisher's good. I mean, stop trying to tap my black source. Let me blow up the Basilisk Gate. We've waited 13 turns for this. If I attack with a team, they don't have to block, but because they don't have a Basilisk Gate, I shouldn't be worried about them cracking back, so I should be fine here. And let's Skyfisher, pick up a Lembas, recast that. I'll keep casting the fire. I guess it probably doesn't pick off what I really needed to pick off, so maybe I shouldn't have kept the cast. There's a Rumble, hits a land. That's not going to do it. All right, we won that game. Bit of a grind, even through the Dust to Dust. Very susceptible to Dust to Dust, but I think this is another one we keep. If we don't lose our lands, good mana, enough red sources finally. On turn 4, we can go for a Synth, decent value. We have the Wildfire again. Unfortunately, we brought in Cast in the Fire not to blow up their lands, otherwise this would be a very good start, but it's for crowd control and maybe getting rid of a Melded Moxide or whatever. There's a Sacred Cat. I kind of think that I should play Cleansing Wildfire on my own bridge to get another land, because if they Dust to Dust us, we're going to lose the game 100%, whereas if I do this, I can maybe stay alive. So as much as I want to hold it for the Basilisk Gate, 13 turns like last time, I think I should just do this. And if they go for Dust to Dust right now, I want to have another black source because I have white and red in hand. Let's do that. And if they don't, it still ramps us. That's fine. Looks like we might be okay. Oh, never mind. Okay, Pursue the Past. Melded Moxide. Close enough. They discard a Pursue the Past. Swing for 1. More red. Let's Lembas. Okay, Refurb's a good card. Can play that. Get our bridge down. If that gets exiled, we'll be in some trouble because, of course, they could have had Dust to Dust and just not been able to play it because they had all tap lands. We'll see. No, they have Guardian. Did I forget Guardian was a possibility and take out all our Tithing Blades, as I always do? Yeah. I guess I could block it with hero tokens, but we might die to this Guardian. Well, I guess I also only have 1 Black Mage's Rod, so I can block it with hero token maybe. All right. As much as I want the value from the Synth, I think it's probably just better and safer to pick up the Lembas here. I guess the main thing I'm looking for, it's not bad. I have a lot of burn. I won't die to Guardian that fast if I can just find another Wildfire if they get a Basilisk Gate. They only have 2 cards in hand. Makeshift doesn't do much. And with Lifelink, I think I got to get rid of it. Landscape. All right, we're going to play this. Swing for 2. They're going to flashback Pursue the Past. It's not too bad. Discard a Plains. Play a tap land. Attack for 2. Spell Bomb doesn't do a ton here. Could crack or I could cycle landscape, but I think I kind of want the creature really bad from the synth. So let's just do that. Plains is decent. I mean, it's the best land we could get, that is. We're gonna attack. I'm gonna play the spell bomb just in case they try to get a snacker or something. Actually, if they do get a snacker, I'll probably let it go, and then I'll cast on the fire the cat and the snacker, and I can get them both. Guardian is swinging in. I'm taking it. They're gonna pass. I kind of want to just lightning bolt them twice. They probably have prismatic strands here. Yeah, I still think we're gonna go for it. Like, I already have the small creatures covered with these. Just get this out of the way. We're gonna cycle this. Glint Hawk. Swing. They have Raven Charm on the Samurai. Okay. I mean, I could kill the cat, but this would still die, so it's fine. Glint Hawk. Crack the Moxite. We're going to pick up the Refurb. Still leave up Cast on the Fire. I can get rid of the robot or the cat. They discard a Snacker. That's fine. Journey to Nowhere. Sure. Gets rid of the Hawk. Another Journey to Nowhere. Okay. Gets rid of the Refurb. I want to kill the cat and then exile the graveyard, but so they don't gain a life, because the life could be really relevant, but I really need to draw a card off this spell bomb, so I think we're just going for the robot here, and then I can kill the cat during my turn if I want. Skyfisher's good. Pick up the Lembas. We really need to kill them before we are in range of the Guardian shooting us down in one hit, which would be if they play a gate, they could give +5, so 7 damage. So I get to 7, I'm going to be in a tough spot. Galvanic Blast is perfect, though. Attack for 2. Is there any downside to doing Cast on the Fire on their turn? They could have a Prismatic Strands to keep their cat alive, but if that's how they're using the mana, it's probably fine. Plus, then I get to Spellbomb the Prismatic, which I guess is not great, but Prismatic could throw off our mana. I think it's fine to do here. They do find the gate. Oh, I guess if they try to grow the cat and then have the prismatic, it's pretty bad. Oh, they're going for the Guardian. Okay. I can't do anything about that, so we just need to kill them this turn, which is going to be tough if their last card is Strands. So I'm going to shoot the cat in the end step. Okay, and then I'm going to Spell Bomb to draw a card. Black Mage's Rod both chumps the Guardian and can give us additional damage. That's a really good draw. I'm going to play it first because then I can get in some pinger damage with the synth. If I turn up another spell from this, I can just kill even without having to attack, which means that the strands won't get there. And we get a Cleansing Wildfire to blow up their Basilisk Gate. That's all pretty good. Now they have to draw Basilisk Gate to be able to even win. Another Wildfire. I mean, now we just attack, and then we Wildfire them again. And if they have a Strands here, which they can't even prevent the hero token damage, if they had a Strands, we could Galvanic Blast in response. That's a good sequence of draws. Yes, it is. All right, that went pretty well at the end there. The league in general was a little up and down. Fantastic finish for a very grindy match. I agree. It was really good. The match was pretty fun. A lot of, like, that game 2 was like, it just felt like it was going on forever, but eventually we got there, which was sweet. That game 3 was like, the Guardian came down so quickly. It was like, oh my god, we're going to lose as soon as they get a gate. Luckily, it was late enough that it wasn't too bad. And then that last turn, it was like just an embarrassment of riches of like, okay, you get the Black Mage's Rod, which can chump. Also, it pings them for damage, so you can get lethal even through a Prismatic Strands. Also, here's a Cleansing Wildfire to blow up their Basilisk Gate. Like, all over and over. Right in a row was really good. Didn't even need a Tithing Blade, all part of the plan. Exactly. I knew Tithing Blade would just slow us down. It was definitely not an oversight. I don't make mistakes. This deck's really fun. Pretty good. Very fun. Definitely, we had some issues with mana a couple of times. Both being able to get the right number of lands and also, the right colors of mana. In general, I think it's decent. I will say that there's a little bit of kind of like Grixis affinity where you can draw so many cards, but since you have no card selection, you just have to take whatever you get. And sometimes that's, 6 lands in a row. And that's really brutal. So like that game against Pingertron felt like we were doing incredibly well. I think we were. And then we just, on a dime, suddenly, drew 6 lands in a row, or roundabouts there. And suddenly we just couldn't do anything because we lost all our momentum. So I don't love that, but that's probably just an inherent disadvantage of a deck like this. I guess you could change it with like Mardu Devotee. You could get some card selection, but I don't necessarily think that's the best thing for this deck. I think this is trying to be a good stuff deck mostly, mostly playing just straight up good cards. And if you water it down with cards that like kind of help, but they're just generally worse, it's probably not going to be much better. So, well, if you're watching another YouTube video, I think that's it for me. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.